Hello, I hope you're having a great day. So I'm just jumping on to give you a quick update. I told you I would let you know when I was taking my bells of Ireland out of the fridge, and I'm going to take them out of the fridge today. And throw them on a heat mat. I did water and feed. I fed all my Lisianthus today. I'm doing that every 10 days, and I think I might pre-soak my Ranunculus Corms. Okay, so I moved inside because it was just way too windy and way too cold on the farm today. So I showed some footage of me taking my Bells of Ireland seeds out of the refrigerator and putting them on a heat mat. I am going to have to turn on the heat mat on the shelf above that and then put my Bells of Ireland on that, because that heat mat shuts off at night because it has my verbena on it. Because verbena needs to be 80 degrees during the day, 86 degrees, and then go down to about 60 degrees at night. So that heat mat shuts off at night to cool down that tray, and then it lifts back up during the day. So I was walking around and I was like, oh yeah, that heat mat goes off. I'm going to have to move it up a level and put it on a different heat mat. But right now I've been in the process of starting my Ranunculus Corms. So last year I did not grow Ranunculus at all. I tried the anemones, and I wasn't that impressed with anemones. And I didn't have that much demand for it. But I do have some customers that actually ask me about Ranunculus, or I've seen Ranunculus in their house at different times, like while doing deliveries and stuff. So I was like, oh, that's a plant I really want to try. Now the thing that I've learned, so I've done a ton of research about them, and I'm just going to try. It looks like a lot of people are in agreement. You soak the corms anywhere from 3 to 4 hours. So I'm going to soak mine for 3.5 hours. So I ordered 200 Ranunculus Corms. I've never grown Ranunculus before, and I didn't want to overwhelm myself, so I just ordered 200. And when I opened up the bag, they look dry and dirty and just dead. But that was to be expected because I've done a lot of research, and that's just how they look. And when you dig them up in the fall, you let them dry out. You just stick them in a paper bag, you store them, and they just dry out and they wrinkle all up and they look like something that you would throw away. So I took them out of the bags, and I am going to do the pre-sprouting process, and part of that is soaking them. So you soak them for 3 to 4 hours. So I set my timer for 3.5 hours, and it says to aerate it, so get oxygen in the water. Don't let it just be standing still water. So I just have a little trickle going down in my sink, and that's aerating the water, and I'm going to leave them in that bowl for 3.5 hours. I did fill 2 trays with I just used my seed starting mix because they have plenty of it. 1 to 2 inches. You get it pretty wet, but you don't want it like soaping wet or dripping wet, because I guess that they can rot or mold if you have your medium too wet. So some people put a dome on them, and some people don't. I think it depends on where you put them. You're supposed to put them in a 50-degree area after you put the corms in the dirt, and then you are going to let them set for 2 weeks, and that's when they'll start growing their roots and they're going to sprout. And my house is not 50 degrees. So I think what I'm going to do is, the farmhouse never goes lower than 40 degrees. And last year I did my anemone in the farmhouse. So I think I'm going to get all of these ready, and then I'm going to move them to the farmhouse, because the corms can rot if it drops below 28 degrees. So I was looking at my temperatures, and you know, our nighttime temperature still can be 7-8 degrees this week, and then it looks like it warms up, and it's actually like the perfect temperatures because these grow between 50 and 60 degrees are like ideal conditions, and they'll get flowers and everything. So it's way earlier than most flowers, but at night I do see temperatures dropping down to 27 degrees. So I think I'm not ready to put them out in the field yet, but that's just this week. So these are gonna probably take about 2 weeks before they start getting roots. And I think at that time you can keep them growing. I could put them under grow lights. I could put them out in my cold frame. I could do different things and they could keep growing. And when I see that the night temperatures are probably not gonna get below 30 because I don't wanna risk it right on the 27 degree line, then I might move them out. And I'm thinking I saw a video where somebody did put it in the landscape fabric. They just took each ranunculus and put in a hole in the landscape fabric. I think that was the Pepper Harrow video I watched. And that was like, I was like, oh yay. Because I was thinking I was going to have ripped up my landscape fabric out in the field if I wanted to do this. But I think that I could actually put them in the holes where my snapdragons are, because I do successions of snapdragons. So while I will be filling that row with snapdragons, but I think around June, these I can pull out of the ground, like sometime in June, like after they're done flowering. When it starts like getting over 70 degrees every day, they quit blooming, I guess. So when that happens, I can let them die back. I can pull the corms out of the ground, and I can finish that row off with my snapdragons. I do wish I had more hoops, so I might have to buy a hoop bender and make another row of hoops this year, and that way I can have my Lisianthus, my ranunculus, and my snapdragons in the future. I do have an extra piece of greenhouse plastic because I had bought 2 pieces of it for when I was doing that cold frame, and I only used 1 piece. So I think I'll be able to cover it with frost cloth or greenhouse plastic and put my ranunculus in the field. It's all kind of trial and error this year. So that's kind of what I'm doing today with my ranunculus. I'm just getting them all soaked, and then after they get soaked, I'm gonna lay them out in these trays. Okay, it's been 3.5 hours, and I dumped the water out, and I just took one of the bags so far. It looks like the white, so I'll lay this in here, and then I'm just gonna put these out. They really plumped up. Some of the little legs look like they fell off, but they plumped up a lot. But I'm just gonna put all the little, I don't know what you call them, fingers down. And let's grab a handful, and that's what I'm gonna do. I'll tip you down. And then cover them up with dirt. Okay, so that's it. I got them all in the dirt and I got them covered, and now I just need to run them out to the farm and put them in a cool, dark spot. The farmhouse is not supposed to get below 40, so, and it does heat up to like 50 or even 60 sometimes on sunny days, so I think that will be the perfect spot for them. Okay, I'm out at the farm, and I'm putting the ranunculus in the farmhouse in a cool, dark spot. It's about 44.3 degrees in here right now. So I decided to put them in this old cooler. And then I just threw some insulation pieces up against it. That should block the light. I'm hoping that, which I can come and just open it and let air get in there every day, just so that they don't get moldy. But mainly I want to do that because I think mice do come in this farmhouse. Nobody lives here, so sometimes there's mice, and I don't want the mice to eat them. I don't even know if they do. I'll have to go research that. But that's where I'm putting them for tonight. Yay! I'm so happy to have ranunculus for the first year and be testing them out. I hope they don't fail. I hope I learned something this year and have some beautiful ranunculus. I do worry a little bit. Maybe that's too airtight. But I'll check on them tomorrow and the next day and the next day, and we'll see how it goes. Maybe, I know the anemone I just left out on this table, so I might end up moving them. We will see about that. But anyway, that's what I did today for the flower farm. I hope you all enjoyed the video, and I hope you have a great day.